I found this vintage Barbie case at a thrift store for only $5. It is so cool. It is real wood and metal. But Barbie wouldn't be caught dead getting ready in this thing. Because I'll always choose the most simple route, I decided to paint over this ugly stained paper, but you can see from the wrinkling going on here that this is not going to be an option. I tried to peel the paper and the stuff that was loose just crumbled in my hands. But the stuff that was glued down was staying. So I used my favorite little mister bottle and sprayed it down. And once it was wet, I took a little flat edge razor blade and it just came right up like peeling a carrot. I'll put a link to that mister bottle in the description of the video. I painted the interior of the case with DIY Paint's Kissing Booth to get this gorgeous hot pink color. I pulled out the beautiful IOD Paradise paint inlay. I love these birds and flowers. It's just, I love it. Anyway, I knew that trying to use the full sheets on this small project was going to be difficult. So I decided to cut the design and just to use it in scattered bits and pieces. I laid down some wet paint and then chose the part of the design that I wanted to put in that area and placed it into the wet paint and then pressed it down to make sure that it had adhered into the paint. After applying the inlays, you want to wet the backing down completely and then allow the project to dry completely. Here I'm using a damp washcloth and pressing into the inlay and allowing it to soak up the water that's in the washcloth. Here's a nice example where some of the inlays have been removed and some haven't. After a rough coat of the pink on the outside, I then went back and painted over it in Hey Sailor DIY paint. Here's what it looked like after the Hey Sailor had dried. I reused the same paint inlay sheets that I had used on the inside on the outside of the box. If you've ever questioned whether you wanted to get a brayer or not, you can see where I would have benefited from using it to get the wrinkles out of the inlay while it was still wet. Before sanding to remove the more obvious evidence of the wrinkles in my inlays, I had to seal the piece because the sanding block would have smeared the inlays. So I mixed some DIY crystal clear Chandelier liquid patina, 1 part patina to 1 part water in a spray bottle. And I sprayed the surface of my piece to seal the inlay before I did any sanding. I wasn't happy with how you could see the edges of the paint inlay after I had completely sealed the piece. So I asked an artist friend of mine for some advice, and she suggested layering in some other pieces. So I went to my transfer scraps and found some pieces from the Brocante Transfer and added the Eiffel Tower and some words, and I am thrilled with how it turned out.